A sea of red is taking over downtown Minneapolis this week. Thousands of Target workers from across the country are in town for the company's annual fall meeting, and the company is one of several businesses downtown beginning new return to office mandates. Adam Duininck, who is president and CEO of Minneapolis Downtown Council, joins us now to talk about the state of downtown. Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And I know that you have said this is an exciting milestone.
It really is. You know, Target has supported downtown in a lot of ways, and to officially call their employees back is a really important step in that process. You know, people have asked us, what is our role in getting people to come back downtown? We play a huge role. We're a place-based organization. We operate the Downtown Improvement District. We want people to come downtown, whether it's to work, live, or play. Those are all the important elements of being downtown. But what's been great about this week is there's just continued momentum for people being here Monday through Friday. And we have a ways to go to have that commercial district presence that we once had. Yes. But this was a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, the pandemic really mixed up things, you know, people working from home and all that. And you said that there are challenges. Can you talk a little bit about some of those challenges?
Yeah, I think some of the challenges, we lag other cities. It's just a fact of the matter in terms of being in the office more consistently. We look at that, we measure against our peers. Some of that might be the business presence. Some of that it has to do with just the policies. Some of that is culture. And so, you know, what we've said is the businesses need to make those decisions on their own, what's best for the company. But being in person really drives a strong culture. It gives a career opportunities and mentorship, those sorts of things that you need to have in person. So it's an important element of running a strong business. We also have to have a city that supports business. And so we work on that all the time too, whether that's at City Hall, the legislature, other places. And so making sure that we do that is important. We also need to think about the downtown core slightly differently. And right now we have a number of 2,000 or 3,000 new units of housing just along Nicollet Mall than we had 10 years ago. So how do we mix living downtown with the jobs that are here in a more of a mixed use kind of way?
Now, when you say new housing, is that new buildings? Because I know the office capacity is very difficult. That's one of the challenges too, right? I mean, the vacancy that you have there.
It is. Our vacancy rate hovers around 20 to 30%. It depends on the building. Some buildings are full and others are much emptier than that. But as a whole, our downtown, and again, that's where we measure against other cities. There are some cities that have lagged in terms of recovery because of the pandemic, but we've been at or near the bottom, and we need to do better when it comes to that. That's some of what we work on every day. But when it comes to vacancy and occupancy with housing, there's actually high demand to live downtown. Not that long ago, only 30,000 people lived in our downtown core. Now that number is over 60.
Well, you talked about retail having that too as an attraction. We should talk. I noticed that there's businesses in Gavaday. I don't know if people, know that.
Anna's Apothecary just opened. We're really excited about her. There's a couple others through our Chameleon Shops program that we facilitate at the Downtown Council. We support business owners to get either a percentage of rent, arrangement in terms of their leasing or a flat fee for their leasing, and try to help new businesses grow in their first 2 years. We're excited about them, and I've heard them talk about how excited they are to see the uptick in foot traffic. That's what's going to drive business.
And Target coming back to work is part of that, right?
A huge part of that. Huge part of that. Right now, 12 of our top 15 employers have some in-office policy. Usually it's 3 days. A couple of them have moved now to 4 days a week. But Tuesday through Thursday has become that kind of new normal. And once we see what the data looks like, we'll know how many people are really down here. But we've been hovering around 70% of pre-pandemic levels.
All right. Well, we appreciate the work you're doing. I know it's difficult, but you guys are plugging along. So,
city building's a team sport. We love doing it.
Well, thanks for joining us, Adam.